have a very special guest for you tonight.
Louder!
I'm Cam.
I'm Nick.
Yeah, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Griffin.
Griffin!
Our special guest.
We open on a riot going on outside of Zoom Comics.
And what's this one called, Cam?
The
Rise?
Oh, the episode. Right,
Yeah.
I should say the episode title. Fuck. I was like, wait,
No,
what?
I was waiting to see if he'd remember it too.
I was like, wait, fuck, what's the name of what? Right.
I'm glad we evenly split
Yes.
on that because I'm like, oh, what is a good name to name these riots that isn't offensive?
Episode 27, Rise of the Blasterborg.
The erection of the Blasterborg, yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Blasterborg was doing some rising throughout this episode. So outside of Zoom Comics, there's a riot going because they're having a sale. Because I guess last week they had that big sign up that said they were having a sale.
Right.
And they are, they're like selling out a comic so fast, 1 copy per customer.
These townsfolk don't even shut up when they're inside the store. They're just, Shadowboard, 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 Shadowboard.
We jump in, and Josh, of course, is in the crowd because he loves the comics too, because everybody does. Amazing shot of Heather immediately giving the hard eyes to Josh.
Josh, hi!
Drew just like peeks from behind her and gives just the angriest mean mug stare.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
The dark side I sense in this one.
He's definitely giving little Annie vibes right now. Heather and Josh obviously having a relationship, and Drew not being able to let go.
Nor Tripper Van.
Nor Chipper Van, and
Yeah.
they're also pissed about it, and they're having Dudley
Yeah.
hold their place in line.
Thanks for saving our spot, Dudley.
Hey, that's what we pay him for.
Nano has a nice moment where she actually takes charge and says, no, only 1 copy per customer, if you're lucky.
Oh, yeah.
So they put,
Yeah.
she kind of puts those
Back the
douchebags
wad
in their
of money.
place.
We'll buy every copy you have of the new issue.
Because they hand her like this huge roll of money, and they're like, yeah, we'll take like every fucking thing you have, you piece of shit.
Why? So you can sell it outside for twice the price?
Right, they're scalpers.
Yeah.
No way, Dorco.
All of a sudden, like, there's a siren going off, and Dudley has a war flashback. He's like, no, that's the, what was it, the civil siren?
The civil defense alarm.
You didn't leave your muffins in the oven again, did you?
Aaron dives over the mountain of comics.
Because that's the bread and butter of the store, right?
His mother is standing next to him, and he's like, "My comics."
Duck and cover! Dudley, shield us with your body!
And Griffin pointed out there's a crap ton of extras in this episode. We get some like really good shots of like shit falling down in the comic shop and everybody panicking and running.
Yeah, we get a whole bunch of fresh shit this episode.
Yeah,
It's
and-
nice.
Oh yeah.
It was really weird to have an air raid siren that alerts but not have any procedures other than panic and run out of the building.
He firmly grips Heather by the shoulders in the
that's
most safe passion possible.
The whole reason this is happening is because the Shadowborg is outside using his blaster to literally explode entire buildings.
These kids know that they don't have their powers, and yet they run to find the enemy regardless.
Yeah, man.
They're like going through, there's explosions everywhere, there's another 20 extras running back and forth.
Fresh scenes of them running with not like a hard cut to an explosion behind them, but like behind them.
Shadowboard's down here, I can see him. Come on! Come on!
The power level difference between not just Shadowborg to a Monster of the Week, but Shadowborg to literally anything other than the Jets is staggering. Heather and Josh are running down the street. We get to see a bunch of fresh sets, like a hardware store.
They get separated, cut to Shadow firing his laser, then the sign falls down. It's almost like he did it deliberately. They miss the sign, but she hurts her leg, and then they have their little moment. You get the sense it's just a little more serious than it usually
Really,
is.
the most serious injury we've seen of anyone.
Considering an ambulance is $900, you probably carried her to the hospital.
Between them losing their powers, the town getting visibly destroyed, her breaking her leg, like, there's consequences to the things happening.
Right, something we've never really faced before.
Yeah, another thing they've not faced.
So, you finally showed up. There's something different about you.
It doesn't feel like a power creep here. It feels like we've had a varying level of bad guys, then all of a sudden there's this one guy that's actually a problem.
I know. Without your armor, you look so much smaller.
And he talks the talk. Like, he's got both, where he's obviously physically threatened because he took their powers last episode. He's literally blowing the whole town up. But he's just... They gave him the best lines that this season has ever...
Oh, he's so cocky. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
If we could Borg, this would be the time.
They're actually fighting Shadowborg just with their civilian powers.
Beetle Bonders! This can't be happening.
Your history.
Roland, he doesn't do an attack. He just runs off in a general direction. I guess as a distraction, I don't know, but...
Yeah, to confuse them, throw them off.
Yeah,
I do like the line that they give Roland, which is, "Try me, Shadowborg." Like, he's willing to play with this guy a little bit. It kind of makes me root for the kid.
He takes the shot and he hits a mailbox.
Which is a federal crime.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Drew brain powers a manhole cover.
Again.
It gently saunters its way across the screen towards Shadowboard and chucks it, and it just like darts off.
Not very impressive.
Maybe this'll stop him.
Joe gets into a shoving match with a truck between them.
Ooh, Spunky.
They are almost evenly matched for the first 2 or 3 pushes.
Come on, Joe. You can do it. Come on. Concentrate. You can do it. Yeah, right. He's losing.
They're obviously all overpowered by the Shadowborg.
What do you say we have a little fun, kiddies?
He has... Is it a freezing ray? Is it meant to be ice?
I think so.
I believe
Okay.
so. Yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was meant to be like a stack.
It's definitely a 2D overlay of them, but I think it's meant to be that they're trapped in ice. Yeah, because he freezes them, and he's like, "Now that's what I call cool."
Little frozen beetle pops.
Ryan, I think you had the, okay, well, what the hell happens now?
Right, because that you would think, because they can't do anything. They don't have their beetle bonders. They don't. Flabber is the only thing I could think of that would come along and rescue them, you know?
Shadowborg just, vanishes.
He becomes electricity when he teleports at school because it's different from the Magnivores, which turn into fire.
When he disappears, they just thaw out instantaneously.
That was horrible. I was paralyzed.
So why are we okay? It's just like he's playing a game with us.
Without your precious powers, you're at my mercy.
Joe says, oh, he's just playing a game with us.
We don't really know if Shadow had any kind of objective when he came into town, other than just to be a dick.
He's just a terrorist.
Seems like that was all he was doing.
Yeah, he's striking terror into them. He's showing them that they're not safe anywhere. I know you're in your town and you think you're gonna come and just beat me, but no, I'm in the middle of a crowd, blowing shit up. I just froze you. I could have ended you, but I didn't.
His powers are awesome. We gotta get ours back, and now. Flubber's gotta help us.
I want to make sure Dad and Nano are all right.
And Heather, too. Come on, we can stop on the way to Hillhurst.
When they stand up to that Shadowboard, those 3 innocent children, they have no powers. All they have is their civilian powers, but they realize that they're superheroes, I think, without their suits.
Hey, this is Drew Griffin. I'm your editor for Big Bad Beetle Bros. Quick commercial break here as we are on a mission to explore and discover more about Beetleborgs. I want to show you our page on Instagram. We know that Instagram is a popular app used mainly for sharing photos, but it's also a place where connecting with friends and celebrities has become increasingly easy with every passing year. Discovering vintage photos and creations by talented fans is now an everyday occurrence. A topic as simple as 90s television or tokusatsu can instantly connect you to a circle of friends you never knew you had. Instagram is tangible proof that forgotten TV shows still have their fans who appreciate them. We would love to hear from you if you remember the Beetleborgs or just appreciate the 90s. We've made a lot of fun connections on this platform, and we're looking forward to making more. The Beetle Bros, the cast and crew, and fans like you are here to make sure that this show is not forgotten about. So if you like this video, please follow us on Instagram.
The kids decide to go check on Nano and Aaron at the comic shop.
And look at all those comic books unsold. I could have sold them the Trippin' Van.
We'll buy every copy you have of the new issue.
That's when we find out that Heather's in the hospital. She's broken her leg. They've got to go check on her, but it's okay because Josh is there and he's a real hero, which has to just grind Drew's gears. We get an exterior shot of the hospital and the big sign. They're pulling out all the stops with new set pieces. Josh is like signing her cast and hanging out with her. Tripp and Van are there, giving her all these gifts. It's great to see these 3 interacting because they're 3 of the most annoying characters so far on the show. And just getting them all to play off of each other.
We brought you these flowers and this giant fucking bear from Ben Franklin just as a gesture of how thoughtful and considerate we are.
Yeah.
Hey guys, back off. Give us some room.
Our 3 heroes come in to check on Heather.
When danger rears its ugly head, the dweebs run home to hide in bed.
Don't get covered!
Dudley, shield us with your body!
And Joe brings chocolate.
No, it's Tripp and Van.
Yeah. Tripp and Van,
Or
they
wait,
brought
no,
the...
shit. It's Josh that brings the chocolate. Tripp and Van eat it.
Yeah, Tripp and Van devour the chocolate, like, angrily and sadly, like at their rejection. Drew gives like one glance back, and Josh's hand feeding her a straw, even though her arms are definitely fine.
Perfectly fine.
Oh, so annoying.
She broke her leg.
The relationship annoys me so much to the point that I actually wrote for Tripp and Van a little bit in this scene. They give Tripp one of the funniest lines of the season so far.
Josh saved my life.
Oh, really? What'd he do? Call 911?
They head to Hellhurst because where the hell else are they gonna go? And the monsters, again, I think this has happened almost every episode. The monsters are like, we're gonna eat ya. And then they defeat them with their own powers. Fangula gets spun around by Joe. You spin me right round, baby, right round like a record, baby. Oh. And we get some awesome wire work from Wolfie and Fangula.
Go get him, Drew.
Wolfie gets brain-powered away. Oh yeah, Flabber drops a book on Wolfie.
Yeah.
Wolfie gets
onto
like,
his feet.
Yeah, Wolfie gets a lot of airtime.
He takes a lot of abuse this episode.
Yes, he does.
I felt kind of sad. The kids say, just drop it, guys. Flabber's like, okay. He drops a fucking Bible.
Shadowborg's got her powers, and we have to get them back.
Yeah, he's wearing them like trophy jewels on his chest.
He's trying to describe how they need to get help, painting like Pictionary, trying to describe things, and they're like, oh, art! And then he turns into a pirate, pops out of a treasure chest, and they're like, fortunes! Oh, art fortunes! He already had the solution. He came up with it on his thinking cap.
He just wanted to be a jackass and not give him the information.
Make him work for it.
Right. They go to Art Fortune's...
Cut to the city!
Yeah. Cut to Art Fortune is almost upside down. He's at like a weird 45-degree angle in one of those, what are they called, pivot chairs? I don't remember. I know he was super eccentric in the Convention Dimension episode, but I don't think he had as many speaking parts. Ryan, what was the actor you were equating him to?
Would have been played magnificently by Rick Moranis. He looked like it was Steve Martin Oh, Steve Martin and Andy Dick. Actually, no,
Nice.
Phil Hartman and Andy Dick.
And all around his office, I guess, it's all the cardboard cutouts that we see in the comic shop usually. There's a little toy of the blue AV, and he doesn't believe the kids that they're the Beetleborgs.
Drew uses his brain power to pick up his very comically large 90s landline, like pastel blue phone.
He was about to call the cops.
Yeah.
Here, we got to take you to this haunted house. Flabber gave us our powers. We got to take you to the haunted house, and you're going to fix it. And Joe just cracks her knuckles when he refuses, and she just, literally the next scene is her dragging him on his ass up the steps of Hillhurst. So presumably, she dragged him all the way from Urbana City, wherever the hell that is in relation to Charterville. Like, they get to the steps, he stands up, they let him go, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna leave. And she does, again, cracks her knuckles, and he's just like, oh, I'm being held hostage. I don't have a say.
Yeah, we could do this the hard way, or the, okay, I'm being detained.
He walks in, and again, the monsters do the same shtick. They've all got giant bibs on, and they've got giant silverware.
Dinner's arrived, and you're the main course.
Yeah. Oh, our Uber Eats is here.
We get an extended chase scene throughout the catacomb chambers.
That's the best I could describe it.
Like every other time we get this kind of scene, it ends with the bookshelf spinning erratically.
The monsters have him cornered, and predictably, like, that's exactly where the kids ended up when they were in the catacombs in the first episode. And it kind of looks like Wolfie deliberately touches the button.
It really does look like he was like, I'm gonna get you out of here, man. Hold on.
I laughed out loud when that bookshelf starts to spin. The monsters are on the other side, and Flabber is just like, oh, but oh, my honey. And in the back, they're just spinning around.
Deep in the antelope plain, where seldom is heard a discouraging word in the sky on a cloudy all day.
Flabber turns around, and he's like, Art Fortunes? He's a huge fan, of course. He does the effect similar to when he first appears and gives the Beetleborgs his powers. He splits
It's funny
himself
because he
in half.
didn't know the Beetleborgs at all until he gave them their powers. So, like, he had to have become a fan because of the kids. You have very summonable rats, sir.
Art Fortunes? Did you draw the rats, too?
Flabber, like, splits in half.
Where the pipe organ is.
Yeah, and he's got, like, flashing colored lights everywhere. We don't get the pipettes, which is disappointing.
The kids have been off screen for a while, but we see them come out of the entrance to the catacombs.
Flabber and Art are just, like, really getting along, hanging out in, like, the study, just sitting there and, like, chatting. Like,
they're broing out. They are broing down. Like
Flabber's geeking out about, like, oh, like, you make great comic characters, and Art's like, I cannot wait to draw you. And Flabber just immediately is just like, I look good on paper, wouldn't I?
And it's the coolest effect so far. That
It does almost like a Prince or Elvis pose. A giant sketchbook and a giant pair of hands come up and are superimposed over, and then he pops out of the sketch, and it's really cool.
Holding the pose and everything, like it does. It really genuinely looks sweet.
I've explained everything to Art.
She'll help us?
That Shadowborg is history.
I love that they don't ask him specifically to make a new Beetleborg. They don't ask him for a power-up or anything like that. He just automatically is like, I know what will fix this. And just...
Yeah, because you remember we hear the alarm from town.
We end with Flabber frantically playing his harmonica to build up the tension. While Art...
Yeah, Billy's like, he's like doing this ragtime, like, foot in the air, like, kick line.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Yeah.
Attention, attention. Please evacuate the city in an orderly manner. Repeat, please evacuate the city in an orderly manner. After all, I wouldn't want to hurt you. I just want to blow up your city as you run away in terror. Lord Vexor is your new master, and soon the entire world will know his name. Tell your friend ShadowBorg sent you.
Back to the monsters' catacombs in the cemetery, and Vexor's talking to the Magnivores, And he's like, you gotta go get all the comics from the comic book so that we can take all the monsters out and destroy Charterville.
Shadowborg is magnificent, while he distracts with destruction.
Get the comic books from town. Okay, but why? Because I told you to, nincompoop.
Like, Vexor is such a, like, competent compared to the Magnivores.
He's also played by Joe Pilato. He's Rhodes.
Captain Rhodes? Oh
Captain
my God.
Rhodes.
That's incredible.
You shitheads, get out there and get those comic books. Are you ready?
Zoom in to Art finishing up his sketch. He's like, what do you guys think?
He fucking draws Kabuto from Juko Beeffighter, the plagiarist. Draw us a new Beetle.
I saw this one in Japan.
I saw this one on the Japanese show. Here you go.
We'll call him the White.
And he's trying to figure out the name. He's like, the White.
Oh, let's see.
The White.
The White.
The
Extra-dimensional supplier Kabuto.
Yeah!
Yeah, that's good.
Because of course Flabber comes up with a name.
Yeah, that's good. What do you think, guys?
Fucking face inflates and he gets like
the big head. Yeah.
If I were any brighter, you'd have to call me Sonny.
Okay, Flabber, make him real.
Well, who's it gonna be?
They need a body.
A body. Oh, yeah.
They need somebody to be the White Blaster Borg. It can't just be a robot or automaton or whatever ShadowBorg is. And it can't be one of the existing Beetleborgs who don't have their powers, because that would be ridiculous. Joe suggests Josh Baldwin, because we don't know any other children in town.
The first time I watched this episode, immediately when Flabber says, who's it's gonna be, I'm like, Nano.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's because the Grandma
Borg
is a badass.
Yeah, for sure. She's the only one we see with any martial arts skills whatsoever. They've got a new shipment of comics in. Presumably, they were all destroyed during the attack.
Yeah, they got wrecked. Like that shipment they got for that big sale is completely squandered. So yeah, this new shipment is like really crucial, actually.
The Magnivores come barging in. We're here for the comic books. Nano and Aaron don't react. We take cash, checks, some credit cards.
And then zap.
Yeah, and then he gets electrocuted.
They just go flying across the box.
Nano gets, who is it?
It's Jara. Yeah. You too, Granny Cakes.
Her stunt double does a backwards cartwheel. Noxic like has his little triumphant spiel, like now Vexor can summon all the monsters out of the comics. Cut to the credits.
Freeze frame. Like literally freeze frame.
Griffin, do you want to lead us off?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Solid.
Because I think it's actually more the kids, it's actually more interesting without their powers.
I do definitely think it was an improvement over the last episode. So I'm going to agree with Griffin. I'm going to go with the 5 on this one.
I want to put it at 4.5 just because I feel like there's growth, you know?
I'm going to say that it's a 5. Like, we were really invested in this episode, and there were so many beats that I think it hit right, especially with Art and Flabber interacting. Like, the fact that they even had that in there was just really fun to watch them play with and watch those characters and those actors play off each other.
This wasn't an accurately titled episode, in my opinion, because the Blaster Borg doesn't exist yet.
That's exactly. I was a little disappointed. The title called Rise of the Blaster Borg doesn't have him in the suit doing any fighting.
Actually being a Borg.
Yeah, that's confusingly, it's in the next title called Revenge of Vexor.